So it dawned on me recently that Daemon's ability might not actually be as strong as we think, and that we're kind of overreacting about his powers, and this guy actually may be pretty easy to beat. Now I was thinking about it, and pretty much what Daemon's abilities are is he kind of reflects your attack with killing intent, and we've seen this with Code put the belt straps on him and it reflected on Code. And also with those guys trying to attack Daemon when he was first introduced, we saw that attack get reflected tenfold back at the enemies. Now, while the ability is very strong, right, it seems like Daemon himself has a very clear weakness. So the ability goes off attacks, right? And I don't know if this ability will be expanded anymore, kind of at the time of making this. I haven't gotten any info, but this ability is just purely just based off he has to be attacked. There's actually a clear way to beat this, and that's by not attacking him. I know it sounds crazy, right? But listen, if you just don't attack him, Daemon can't actually do anything to you, right? Because what is he going to reflect? He seems like he's kind of fast though, so I don't know if he has any actual attack power. That seems to be sort of the big flaw in his power, is that the person fighting me has to actually do something. Now, if you actually knew who Daemon was, you knew his ability does, and you knew all of this, and you could easily counter it. But for people that don't really know what Daemon does, and like those guys who attacked him when he was first introduced, then yeah, you're gonna get messed up. But if, let's say that Amato decides to inform Naruto and Sasuke of Daemon's abilities, then yeah, Naruto and Sasuke would not have to worry about Daemon at all. Probably not going to happen for the sake of the plot, because we already know they want to showcase Daemon's abilities in like some sort of big event. But if they kind of figure this out and they can sort of use that to their advantage, then I'm pretty sure they could figure out a way to not actually attack Daemon, and actually maybe even just restrain him, like just hold him, and maybe that will sort of counteract his abilities, because that's not really an attack, right? You're just holding him, right? Or Naruto could do his typical Hokage type ass thing where he saves the children and takes Daemon into his care, some dumb stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it really just comes down to that, right? But if Daemon has these other abilities, and that's pretty much a huge issue as well. I'm hoping that they do give him some more abilities, because after I was thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, I think that his ability does have one big flaw in it. Kind of the other thing too is that I imagine this ability does rely on him having some chakra, and he can't just sort of spam it. I don't know if you guys remember, Delta had an ability where she needed a mass amount of chakra to use it. I think some of the other cyborgs sort of had that same thing, to where they did need a little bit of chakra to actually use it. And I imagine that Daemon would need chakra to actually use this reflecting ability. So I don't know if he can necessarily spam the ability to the point to where he's just destroying everybody he comes in contact with, but it has to be manageable somehow, right? Because it goes back to Itachi's, saying like everything has a weakness, and it's clear that with things created by humans that, it's not perfect, right? It has a flaw in it, has some sort of thing that can be exploited, and it's made by Amato, and even though Amato is a great scientist, there's still things that can be done to counteract his, creations and what he's been doing. So yeah, especially with science, there's definitely flaws in that. And we've seen that with the Delta fight. Delta couldn't absorb a certain amount of chakra, so she sort of overloaded. With Boro, we noticed that, if Boro gets his core destroyed, then everything in him gets, ruined, and so on and so forth, right? These things have weaknesses, so obviously Daemon's gonna have some sort of way to counteract them. But I think really just the best way, and based off what we know right now, is just to like, yo, Amato, could you kind of like inform us on what's going on? If Amato's not actually bad, I have a feeling that Amato's not really gonna tell him, but if Sasuke goes for like an Amaterasu or something like that, and he knows it gets reflected, then I think that they're going to sort of take that fight a little bit differently. But with Ada and Code being there, that fight could be very tricky, because there's more variables into play. It could be kind of hard to sort of isolate Daemon versus the other two, right? And sort of isolate your attacks and stuff like that. So that is very interesting from that perspective, but I just kind of wanted to talk about that and sort of what I was thinking about, in terms of, Daemon not actually being that strong, and probably not even that much of a threat, to be honest. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that my idea is a little feasible, or, needs some tweaking? So yeah, just kind of interested to see what you guys think. Anyways, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and join the Discord. Peace.